uh, 3 conference games under your belt now. I'm sure you'd like to be 3-0, 2-1, all on the road, getting to get some conference games at homes. So how things have gone so far, I'm sure you're pretty pleased.
Yeah, it's been I kind of look at the overall picture on just how our team is progressing, how are we improving from game to game, and we've been a little bit up and down in different areas with our team. You know, it seems like there's a different situation or learning moment in each game, which obviously is a good thing. But we've talked a great deal about, we put so much emphasis on our defense and just being much more consistent on the defensive end, and when we are, I'm very confident that the offense will take care of itself. So again, just learning each game, working to get better. Obviously, we would have loved to have come home 2-0 this past weekend, but we did get the split, and now we're fortunate. We're home. We have 3 home games here, which is good timing for us also as we're approaching finals week. We've been on the road so much, so it's nice to be home.
For your 2 losses, they weren't blowouts, and you guys lost by a couple points. Is it just take time to kind of not learn to win, but just in those close games that kind of put you over the top? I mean, I'm sure if they were 20-point losses, you'd be really concerned, but is it a thing where it's just you got to kind of experience that, kind of grow from that, or what are your thoughts on that?
Well, our 2 losses were very different situations. The Concordia game, unfortunately, we just dug ourselves a hole at the beginning, but the girls battled, and I tell the team all the time, I still think that's the best complete game that we've played so far this year. We just unfortunately came out with the loss. The San Marcos game, to be quite honest, we just didn't play like we can play. Really on either end of the floor, I felt like we were a little stagnant on the offensive end. Our defense wasn't as sharp as it could be, so we just really didn't deserve to win that game. We just didn't give them our best punch. So that was disappointing, but I will say the girls did a great job of bouncing back and responding, and I thought we played a pretty solid game against San Bernardino.
Mm-hmm. You guys prevented your first losing streak of the season, getting that win on Saturday. Now coming home for 3 straight, and I know it's always good to be home, but just kind of talk about the position that you guys are in at the start of the conference season.
Well, obviously we have a stretch right now, as I mentioned, with 3 home games before the Christmas break. And of course it's nice to be home. We love playing in front of our crowd, and we just got to take these, this isn't, they're always important stretches, but if we just look at these 3 games right here, and the first one being Monterey Bay on Thursday, and we just got to take one game at a time. And again, as cliche as it may sound, we're really just focusing on ourselves and becoming a better basketball team from game to game.
Mentioning Monterey Bay, what have you seen so far in video?
Very different team from the past. Number 1, they have a new head coach. Number 2, the personnel is pretty much completely different. So from a personnel standpoint, they're different. Their style of play is different. Just watching film the last couple of days on them, I mean, we know what we need to do today and tomorrow in practice to really prepare ourselves for the Monterey Bay game. And it's really, again, of course, we're going to go over them, but the things that we need to do are consistent things that we need to do regardless of who the opponent is.
Obviously, you want to go 3-0 on this homestand. I mean, this athletes know that they're going to have finals probably coming up, and that extra push, and probably think about the holidays. But what will you do to kind of keep them focused over these next 2 weeks?
Well, and you said the key word is something I spoke to the team about yesterday before practice is just focus. Again, being gone the last couple of weeks, so that 1, they're getting caught up with their school, 2, they're preparing for their finals, 3, the break. So there's just a lot of potential distractions, and really just trying to compartmentalize. And when they come out to practice, I need their full attention and I need their full effort for that hour and a half or whatever the case may be, and to really separate the 2. And a lot easier said than done, I know, but it does require some just maturity and some discipline on our players' parts to be able to do that, and I'm confident that they will.
All right. Anything else you would like to?
No, just excited, as we keep talking about, just excited to be home, 1 game at a time, with Monterey being the first, and just really anxious to get out on the floor. Like yesterday, we spent the day just really working on ourselves offensively. We need to play at a faster pace. Offensively, I don't feel like we've been playing as fast and as sharp as we could on the offensive end. Today we're going to spend a lot of time on the defensive end and just really putting everything together to be better this week than we were last week.
Real quick, is there anything, obviously record-wise we saw that you guys split, but is there anything that you saw on the court that you're starting to see? It's like I like what I see. I mean, obviously you like the record, but anything that you saw out there that was really positive for you guys?
Well, bits and pieces. We felt that on Thursday night, really what really kind of hurt us on Thursday night was just the lack of execution of our scouts. Was really something that hurt us, and just getting everyone to really understand the importance of that. We put a lot of emphasis on our scouts and really taking our opponents, both individually and as a team, out of their comfort zone, as we say, and we didn't feel like we did a very good job of that on Thursday. But I think the girls really took that to heart. They actually spent a lot of time themselves watching film and kind of regrouped and really, again, understand the sense of urgency with that, and they certainly executed on Saturday, so that was certainly a positive for me, and I think it was also an eye-opener that they need to be responsible and hold each other accountable for the defensive game plan that we have going into the game, and I'm confident that they're going to carry that on coming into Thursday's game against Monterey.
All right, one last question, I'll be quick. Obviously the three-point shooting, when somebody's on her game to others, when that's happening, sure, you're going to get your rebounds and paint points, but when you guys can hit from long range, how much does it take off? You want to, obviously, you focus on defense, but it has to take a lot off when you guys are hitting those shots, building those leads.
Well, it certainly helps. I mean, if anything, it just stretches out the defense. We feel like we have players that can get to the basket, and if opponents start focusing in on defending the paint on us, obviously it's going to stretch out the defense when we do start hitting perimeter shots. So when we're coming with all forces and all cylinders on the offensive end, certainly that's going to make us a much bigger threat offensively to our opponents.
All right, I'll be quiet.